Hello, I am just back from holiday, which was lovely. Cruising around South France in a car that we had, so my wife's car, and I'd made sure that we'd got the air conditioning regassed a week before we went, tracking and stuff sorted out. And then 2 days before we went, the air conditioning burst because it appears that they had overfilled it or overpressurized it. South France in summer with no aircon was not fun. But came back and it looks like my body kit arrived, although I've just opened it and it is just the front splitter. And rather interestingly packaged, and try and do this with one hand. Not gonna happen. So this is what came, what looks like it's wrapped up with a Disney princess, and it's got a chunk taken out of it. I mean, you might not see that. It's disappointing. I mean, I've been waiting, I don't know, how long has it been? 8 weeks for a delivery that should have been quick, because this item was in stock. It was the body kit that was on a 10 to 15 working day lead time. So, I mean, I figured that's 3 weeks max. And nope. Anyway, here it is. And yeah, it's not great there. I don't mind that. I mean, I'm going to sand over this top bit. It's had a coat of paint. I mean, it looks secondhand. This was not from a secondhand website, just now I had. I mean, it could just be that the primer's on not so well. I mean, I'm going to reprime it anyway, so I'm going to send all this back. That's a bit annoying, to say the least, having waited all this time for it. Alright, so I've got some body filler and rather stupid instructions on the back. Use equal mix, and then it explains, so if I use half a tub of this, use half a tube of this. That's not an equal mix when this is only 15 grams and that's 250 millilitres. Either way, I'm going to go with kind of wodge, because that should be enough for what I need. And maybe a little bit more, let's face it. Better to have too much than too little. Well, that's quite a lot. Okay, so wodge and blob. I think that will do it. Wodge and a blob. There we go, it's my technical advice for you. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to repaint this as I'm painting the splitter that we fixed yesterday, because it is just covered in horrible little pits in the lacquer coat. So in order to get this off, and it's going to be easier to fit the splitter if I take the bumper off too. I'm going to remove the bumper, going to remove this, and to do that I need to remove the lights. So here we go. Well, that's all come off. It took a little bit of fettling and figuring out, but it's all off. There's two bolts here which go under here. They're a bit of a pain to get to because the wheel trimmer's in the way. There's a bolt underneath both headlights, and there's two in the side, and on a left-hand drive car you need to remove the right headlight entirely because the expansion tank is in the way, and I believe on right hand drive cars it's the opposite way around. The expansion tank is on the other side, and so you have to remove what would be the passenger side light bulb on those cars, but I might be wrong on that. But it's all actually pretty easy to do. Just took a little bit longer than expected, having to find bits and bobs and a few trims that kind of fell down. Just got to remember to disconnect the fog lights and air temperature sensor, which goes in this duct here, which actually goes this way around, and should be connected to the bumper, but it's okay that it's off. So now I'm just going to give it a bit of a clean. Now this is arguably, it's mostly just clear coat on there that's the problem, but I think given how I'm going to have to strip it back, it's probably best that I just repaint the whole lot. So let's get going. Well, we've got a couple of coats of primer on there now, just letting that dry. Well, this is so totally a different day, and I definitely followed all of the instructions on the paint. And you know what, the splitter, I'm quite happy with how that's come out. I mean, it was pretty smooth. The kidney panel, you see so little of it. It's better than being covered in chips, but I definitely didn't get it smooth enough before painting it with the paint I had. I should have used a deep fill primer, which I've now gone out and bought because I ran out of colour paint, so I had to buy that anyway. And but it's better than being covered in chips, but it was a good one to practice on, given that this is the first thing that I've painted. But Probably won't do it in the back of the van again. I'll probably, when the body kit comes, I think I'll take it to my lockup where there's more space, but I'll have to do it on a day where I can basically sit there all day, because it is a long ass process. Or maybe do it over 3 days like it really should be done. But yes, I'll strip that back better next time, get it much smoother, and then paint it. But I thought I'd just crack on with it today because it's off. It was a good experiment and it showed me what I need to do. But mental note is, buy a lot more paint than I thought I needed. So colour wise, it looks pretty close. I mean, it's going to look slightly different. It is brand new paint versus, you know, 20-something-year-old paint. So it's not going to be perfect. What old BMW isn't complete with that ton of parts under the bonnet. Clearly looking in the wrong place. What I want though? Yep, because I want this lot. So let's hope that my rivets are long enough, otherwise it will be back to the drawing board. So I'm using these ones because they are the longest but slightly thinner, so they're 48 by 8mm, 8mm long, and I'm hoping that that is going to be long enough. So let's get this centre one in first. And drop it on the floor. Okay. So it definitely goes through both of those. And then this one needs it stretching slightly. So where's the hole gone for that? Once I get this one lined up, the rest should just fall in. Of course, the paint's made my drill holes slightly smaller. Shouldn't have made it smaller going through the hood, because that hasn't changed, obviously. Let's put this down and use 2 hands. Hopefully I can record properly. There we go. I think that does give it somewhat of a meaner start. So I'm pretty pleased with it. Can't take all day, but you've got to have paint dry.